Hey, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tremor, and today we're going to continue with the Game Engine series. And we are going to make the Sandbox project today. So we are finally able to separate our engine code and a potential game code that will come to existence in the future into two separate projects. And today is going to be a rather short episode, maybe like 5 minutes, because we are just going to make the new project, like the Sandbox project, and then we are going to adjust the Premake files so that Premake actually builds our Visual Studio solution in the correct way. So without any further ado, I'm going to put myself into the bottom right corner and we will start implementing the Sandbox project. And here's the bottom right corner. So let's start. So first we have to make a new folder for the Sandbox project in the root folder of our Visual Studio solution. I'm just going to call that Sandbox. Inside of that folder, we need another folder called Source. And inside of this folder, we need another folder called Sandbox. It's the same with the Lucy directory. It's Lucy, Source, Lucy, and then there's the actual code. And next up, we are going to copy the Lucy Premake file into the Sandbox folder, and we are going to edit that now. So the project name is going to be Sandbox, and it's a console app. We need to include the Lucy source directories, or the Lucy include directories, which is the same than the source directories in our case. That would be Lucy source. We can check that in the browser as well. If we go into Lucy source, that is the directory we want. And then we have to link LucyEngine here as well, because the Sandbox project needs to link the engine project. Let's just make sure that the thing is actually called, it's called LucyEngine. And I think that's it already for this file. We changed the name. It's a console app. It's in C++. Those directories are the same anyway. We need to include the Lucy source directories and also our third-party libraries directories. So the next thing is to change the LucyEngine Premake file. So we go into Lucy and we open that file. And this is going to be not a console app anymore, because it's not like the LucyEngine project is not running the code anymore. It's just providing the engine code for our Sandbox project. So the LucyEngine project is going to be a static library as well. And that's everything for that file. All the other stuff stays the same as well. And the last thing we have to change in these Premake files actually is the global Premake file that is building our solution, which is in the root directory of our Visual Studio solution directory. And we only have to do two things here. The starter project is now Sandbox and not LucyEngine anymore. And we also have to include the Sandbox directory so that Premake finds it. So now we can actually build the Premake project, or like the Premake files. For that, we're going to open a PowerShell. You can do that by holding Shift and doing a right click on the directory. And then you go on Open PowerShell window here. Make sure that you are in the root directory of the Visual Studio solution, because we want to use the global Premake file. And now I'm going to navigate to the Premake folder. If you added this to your environment paths, then you don't have to do that. For me, it's under vendor and Premake, and then Premake 5 exe, and the parameter is VS2022. And we can see that it built the Sandbox files, and it also built it also changed like the LucyEngine files. So it should ask us to reload. And we already see the Sandbox project here. So let's see if it still builds, and it shouldn't. Because there is no code in the Sandbox project now, and the Visual Studio solution has like Sandbox for the starter project now, and since there's no code, it can't find a main function, so it gives us this error that it can't find a main function. So what we're going to do is first of all, we're going to activate the show all files mode again, because since we rebuilt like the Visual Studio project, this has been reset. So we changed that, and now we are just going to copy the code that we wrote last time, which we already put in a folder called Sandbox. We're going to copy and paste into the new Sandbox folder inside of the Sandbox project. And if we build it now, it should actually run. Okay, let's run it and see. Well, that doesn't work. Apparently, it hasn't set it to the startup project. We can also see that because the startup project is like bold and this is not bold. So this is not bold. So that means that LucyEngine is still the startup project. I don't know, maybe that's a bug from Premake, because if we look at the file again, at the global file, this is the global Premake file, it says the startup project is Sandbox. And I will build it again just to make sure. And it's still not the startup project for some reason. Okay, let me delete the solution file and the Visual Studio folder. And that doesn't work because we have it in use. Don't save. Delete this one. Okay. And now we build it again. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, now we have the Sandbox project as our starter project. So we go on show all files again here as well. And now it should run. Let's build it. Let's run it. And there we go. So we can remove the Sandbox folder from LucyEngine now because we don't need that anymore. Let's make sure it did that here as well, like on the file system, and it did. And if we run this again, we build it again and run, there's our triangle. And that's it for today. I'm going to put myself into camera full screen mode again. Thanks for watching. I won't be able to make that many episodes until the end of the year. Maybe one, maybe two, but we see. Now we have the Sandbox project. We can separate our engine code from our actual game code or whatever, application code. And that's good because it's really easy to mix these two together as the code base grows larger. So it's good to separate that. Thanks for watching. We will see each other in probably 2 or 3 weeks. And if you liked what you saw, then subscribe and like the video. And I'd say see you next time. Bye bye.